He went from sleeping on couches to traveling the world for free. From a Harvard engineer to 70 million followers. From making 1-minute videos to building a $27 million AI company. Then, everything collapsed. The Philippine government tried to ban him. Protesters shut down his events. He lost 500,000 followers in 1 week. Accusations of racism, cultural exploitation, scamming indigenous communities. But here's the twist nobody saw coming. While the internet was busy canceling him, he raised $27 million and built an empire worth more than his entire YouTube career. This is Nas Daily, the full story, the rise, the scandals, and the comeback that shocked everyone. Let's go back to the beginning. 1992, a small Arab village in northern Israel. Nusair Yassin was born into a modest Palestinian Muslim family. His parents were teachers. Nothing special. Nothing about his childhood suggested he'd one day command 70 million followers worldwide. But Nusair was ambitious. He studied relentlessly, earned a full scholarship to Harvard University, graduated with a computer science degree in 2014, landed a software engineering job, 6-figure salary. On paper, he had won. The American dream achieved. But he was miserable, burnt out, trapped behind a desk writing code he didn't care about. So at 25 years old, he made a decision most people thought was insane. He quit his job, cashed out his savings, and decided to travel the world with nothing but a camera and a wild idea. What if he made a 1-minute video every single day for 1,000 days? 1,000 videos. 1,000 days. No breaks, no excuses. He called it Nas Daily. Nas means people in Arabic. Daily because he posted every day. The concept was simple but brutal. Visit a new place, find an interesting story, film it, edit it, post it, all in 60 seconds, every single day, for nearly 3 years. People told him he'd fail, that he'd run out of money, that nobody would watch. They were wrong. The formula was genius, short enough for shrinking attention spans, emotional enough to generate millions of shares, consistent enough to build a loyal audience. He told stories nobody else was telling. A man who walked across China, a village where everyone whistles instead of talks, forgiveness in Rwanda, perseverance in Vietnam, kindness in Syria. His videos made you feel something, and the internet loved him for it. By the end of the 1,000 days, Nas Daily had 11 million followers and was making over $1.2 million a year just from ad revenue. Sponsors lined up. Governments paid him for tourism campaigns. Today, his platforms have 68 million followers across YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. He's traveled to over 75 countries, met presidents and refugees, billionaires and homeless people. Nas Daily wasn't just a creator, he was an inspiration, proof you could quit your job, follow your passion, and actually win. But here's where everything changed. Because as Nas Daily got bigger, the controversies started piling up, and they were brutal. In 2021, Nas announced a new business, Nas Academy, an online education platform where experts could teach courses to fans worldwide. It seemed brilliant until the Whang-Od Scandal exploded. Whang-Od is a 104-year-old tattoo artist from the Philippines, a living legend, a national treasure. When Nas announced she'd be teaching an online course about her ancient tattooing art, Filipinos were excited until her family spoke up. Grace Palicas, Whang-Od's grandniece, posted on Facebook with a bombshell accusation. Whang-Od never signed any contract. She wasn't aware of the course. She didn't speak English. She couldn't possibly teach online. And the entire But tribe believed people were taking advantage of their culture. The Filipino internet exploded. Within 1 week, Nas Daily lost over 500,000 Facebook followers. 500,000. In 7 days, netizens launched petitions to ban him from the Philippines entirely. Lawmakers got involved. The National Commission on Indigenous Peoples opened an investigation. Nas fought back. He released an emotional video showing Whang-Od putting her thumbprint on a document. Proof, he said, of consent. But it only made things worse, because Whang-Od couldn't read. She didn't understand English contracts. How could she give informed consent? The academy was shut down, and Nas Daily's reputation took a hit it would never fully recover from. To millions of Filipinos, he wasn't a storyteller anymore. He was a scammer, a cultural exploiter, someone who profited off indigenous communities without permission. And that was just the beginning. Years earlier, in 2019, Nas had filmed a story about Luis Mabulo, a Filipino social entrepreneur who ran the Cacao Project. She claimed her nonprofit helped 200 farmers rebuild after a devastating typhoon. But when Nas's team arrived and spoke to the farmers themselves, the story didn't match. There weren't 200 farmers. The project wasn't a nonprofit. It was allegedly a family-run for-profit business. Nas made a controversial decision. He refused to run the episode, wouldn't share what he believed was a false story. But in 2025, Mabulo fired back. She published a lengthy Facebook post with explosive accusations that Nas mocked the local accent, called Tagalog, quote, stupid, said, quote, no one wants to hear about farmers, joked he could get millions of views just by putting Philippines in the headline because of, quote, brainless Pinoy pride. The accusations went viral across Southeast Asia. Social entrepreneurs filed complaints. The Philippine Commission on Human Rights explored declaring him persona non grata. Nas went on the offensive, called Mabulo's project, quote, fake news from a for-profit entity that exploits farmers. It was a vicious public battle, he said, she said, both sides claiming the other was lying. And Nas Daily's reputation, once built on positivity and connection, was now permanently associated with accusations of racism, greed, and neocolonialism. But the controversies didn't stop there. In 2022, Nas posted a video titled Most Humble Crypto Billionaire about Sam Bankman-Fried, the founder of FTX. Nas praised him, called him humble, a genius changing the world. 6 months later, FTX collapsed. Sam Bankman-Fried was arrested for fraud and money laundering. He'd stolen billions of dollars from customers, one of the biggest financial crimes in history. People were furious. They accused Nas of promoting a scammer without doing research, of caring more about access and clicks than truth. Then, in May 2022, Nas did it again, posted a video about Changpeng Zhao, the founder of Binance, another crypto billionaire. Again, Nas praised him, made him look amazing. And again, it backfired. Changpeng Zhao was later charged with money laundering and breaking sanctions, found guilty, forced to resign. Twice. Nas had promoted crypto billionaires who turned out to be criminals. His credibility was shattered. People started asking, does he research anything? Or does he just praise whoever gives him access? The answer seemed obvious, and it wasn't good. And then there's Malaysia. In 2022, Nas tried to enter Malaysia, but he holds an Israeli passport, and Malaysia has no diplomatic relations with Israel. Entry denied. So what did Nas do? He didn't give up. He didn't apologize. He bought a second citizenship from St. Kitts and Nevis, a tiny Caribbean island nation. With his new passport, he re-entered Malaysia in 2026, and he bragged about it on Facebook. Quote, I was blacklisted 4 years ago, so I got a second passport and came back again. The internet exploded. Some called it genius hustle. Others called it arrogance, literally buying his way around immigration laws, treating sovereign borders like an inconvenience to solve with money. He doubled down, said people should remember, quote, not that the Malaysian government denied me entry, but that the people chose to be kind to me. To critics, it was just another attention-seeking stunt from a man who'd made a career out of controversy. But the biggest firestorm, his politics. Nas Daily is Israeli-Palestinian, a Muslim of Palestinian descent who grew up in Israel. For years, he avoided talking about the Israel-Palestine conflict. Eventually, he couldn't avoid it anymore, and his stance alienated nearly everyone. He's repeatedly said, quote, the worst thing for a Palestinian is not Israel. It's our fellow countrymen. It's Hamas. He's called Hamas terrorists, argued their defeat is what's best for both Israelis and Palestinians. He's dismissed accusations of Israeli apartheid, called the term genocide, quote, a very emotional, non-scientific word. In May 2025, he received an honorary doctorate from Ben Gurion University in Israel for his advocacy for Israel. For many Palestinians, this was the ultimate betrayal. They saw Nas as someone who abandoned his own people, who chose privilege and wealth over solidarity, who used his Palestinian identity to defend Israel while dismissing Palestinian suffering. The backlash was massive. Pro-Palestinian activists started protesting his events. In March 2025, demonstrators in Tokyo confronted him, called him, quote, a brutal tool of Israel's propaganda machine, shut down his meetup. Comedians told followers to unfollow him. Fellow creators accused him of whitewashing military actions. The man who built his brand on bringing people together was now being literally chased out of venues by angry mobs. Nas eventually left Instagram entirely, said he wanted to keep it free of politics. But everyone knew the truth. He couldn't handle the backlash. So by late 2025, Nas Daily's reputation was destroyed. 500,000 followers lost. Governments investigating him. Protesters shutting down his events. Accusations of scamming, racism, cultural exploitation, and political betrayal. Most creators would have been finished, cancelled, done. But here's where the story takes a turn nobody saw coming. While the internet was busy hating him, Nuseir Yassin was building something far bigger than a YouTube channel. He was building an empire. In April 2026, news broke that Nas Daily's AI startup, Nas.com, had raised $27 million in Series A funding, led by Khosla Ventures, one of the most prestigious venture capital firms in Silicon Valley. $27 million, while people were calling him a fraud. So what is Nas.com? It's an AI-powered platform for solo entrepreneurs, freelancers and creators who run businesses on their own. It helps them build websites, run marketing campaigns, sell digital products. It's Shopify mixed with Canva, mixed with ChatGPT, and the numbers are staggering. In 2025 alone, Nas.com's annual recurring revenue grew from $1 million to $8 million. Over 20,000 paying entrepreneurs use the platform. More than 350,000 businesses have signed up. The platform charges $6 a month plus a 5% commission on ad spend. Do the math. Nas Daily isn't just a content creator anymore. He's a legitimate tech founder. He's built a platform helping millions of creators earn sustainable income, all powered by artificial intelligence. He's gone from being a YouTuber to being an institution. While people were canceling him online, he was closing venture capital deals. While protesters were shutting down his meetups, he was building a company worth tens of millions of dollars. Nas Daily didn't just survive the backlash, he used it as fuel.